Hello everyone and welcome back to History of Star Wars. Today I thought we would look at the idea of, if the Jedi want balance in the Force, then wouldn't destroying the Sith cause a large unbalancing? And this is a very interesting idea, and in fact, one of the most powerful and important Jedi of the prequel era had these kind of thoughts, and that was from the mind of Mace Windu. By the time that the Clone Wars was approaching its end, he actually acknowledged this as a potential issue. So let's have a look at this passage from the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Since the fall of Darth Bane more than a millennium ago, there have been hundreds of thousands of Jedi, feeding the light with each work of their hands, with each breath, with every beat of their hearts, bringing justice, building civil society, radiating peace, acting out of selfless love for all things, and in all these thousands of years, there have been only 2 Sith at any time. Only 2. Jedi create light, but the Sith do not create darkness. They merely use the darkness that is always there. That has always been there. I'm sorry, Master Windu? Are you saying, to follow your metaphor, that the Jedi have cast too much light? And that seems very much just what Mace Windu is saying. The Jedi have tried to become too powerful. They are trying to tip the scales so much in their favour that those scales are becoming increasingly unbalanced. But also, to be honest, the truth is that at the end of the day, it can really be questioned whether the Jedi did or perhaps did not truly understand what balance in the Force was meant to mean, or perhaps they just lost this understanding over time. If we now look at the Jedi Rael Averross, who was the first apprentice of Jedi Master Dooku, talking to Qui-Gon in the book Master and Apprentice, he says, "It would mean the darkness would be just as strong as the light, so it doesn't matter what we do, because in the end, hey, it's a tie. It doesn't matter which side we choose." So what about when the prophecy came about? Well, to be honest, they had no idea what the prophecy of the Chosen One would entail. The way George Lucas described it is that the Sith are like a cancer and have always and will always simply crave more power. They are never content with what they have. They will always work to make the dark side stronger, and so with their existence, there can never be balance in the Force. And therefore, destroying the Sith would be essential in allowing there to be balance. However, the Jedi Order also apparently caused imbalance through their actions as well, which is how things have been altered later on. And that is why Luke Skywalker says in The Last Jedi that it was time for the Order to end. The Jedi were not needed to maintain balance in the Force. If we look at that moment, he says, "The Force does not belong to the Jedi. To say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can you feel that?" So really, the Jedi did not know what balance in the Force meant, which is why they assumed the prophecy referred to the destruction of the Sith. They were wrong. Balance in the Force is not about the number of Force wielders, but rather the effect that those Force wielders have through their actions. The Jedi believed that their actions alone promoted balance in the Force, but again no, balance is not about having equal light and dark. It appears now that it is more about harmony of all living beings. This is why a group like the Empire caused the balance to be tipped, for they disrupted the Force with the extreme amount of their negative actions. So we can conclude, if the Jedi want balance in the Force, then destroying the Sith could cause a balancing in the Force, but that does not mean it definitely will. A powerful Sith Lord will cause disruption and chaos, tipping the scales, so defeating them would return it, as long as what remains afterwards respects the essence of the Force. Even if things become balanced as well, that does not mean that it is a permanent fix. People are naturally corruptible. There will always be someone who wants to rule, whether that is for good or evil, and the scales will always be tipped one way or the other. Realistically, the less Jedi and Sith there are, then the higher chance there is for everything to be balanced. Which is why in some ways the Order 66 actually brought the Force a lot closer to being truly balanced by reducing the number of Force users at that time. Now, I hope that quick attempt to summarise helps clear things up a little bit, as it can be a bit of a confusing subject. At the end of the day, with there always being people who desire power, balance cannot be a permanent thing. The Jedi just seem to try their best to not let the scales get tipped too drastically on the side of the Sith. I personally believe that there can't be balance. It is theoretically possible, but practically impossible. You just have to think of something like world peace in real life. It's a great idea and everyone would love to have it, but realistically, we can only aim to get as close to it as possible, not actually attain it. If one side fails, another will take up the challenge to take its place. If the Jedi fail, the Sith will rise. They cannot exist harmoniously together, which is what balance would require. So hopefully you enjoyed that attempt at breaking down what the balance in the Force would mean and if the Sith needed to be destroyed to make that happen. If you did, then please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. For those of you who are unaware, this channel is a rebrand of an older one with us now focusing solely on Star Wars content. So these actions of liking the video, subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell icon really help us fight against that YouTube algorithm, as right now it is not in our favour. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time on History of Star Wars.